Good morning. I am going to model the genetics #1 worksheet for those of you who missed it or who are absent, or even those kids who are not quite understanding this as well. All right, so here we have SpongeBob's genetics #1. So I'm going to go ahead and start from the top. Scientists at Bikini Bottom have been investigating the genetic makeup of the organisms in this community. Use the information provided and your knowledge of genetics to answer each question. For each of the genotype below, indicate whether it is heterozygous with an HE or homozygous with an HO. So if you take a look back at your notes, heterogeneous is a hybrid. So I'm going to write that at the top. And a homozygous is a purebred. Okay? So heterozygous is going to have a capital letter with a lowercase, and a purebred is going to have 2 capital letters or 2 lowercase letters. All right, it says for each genotype below, indicate whether it is heterozygous with an HE or homozygous. So capital T, it is a purebred. So HO. Capital B, lowercase b, hybrid. Capital letter, homozygous. Capital F, heterozygous. Little t, homozygous. Little d, these are purebreds, homozygous. Okay? Big D, little d, it is a hybrid, heterozygous. Little f, it's going to be, you guessed it, homozygous. It's purebred. Big T, heterozygous. Little b, it is homozygous. Big B, purebred, homozygous, and big F, also homozygous. Okay? So if they're going to have 2 capital letters to a lowercase, they're going to be homozygous. It means that they will be passing on the genetic every single time into their offspring. Hybrids will have that recessive gene, and although they're passing on the gene, it may or may not show up in their offspring. Depends on who the other mate is. Which of the genotypes in #1 are be considered purebred? Okay, so again, we're looking for capital letters and lowercase. So we have, going from the top, big T, big D, little t, little d, lowercase f, little b, big B, and big F. Okay, those are all purebreds. They're all homozygous. Which of the genotypes in #1 would be hybrids? Okay, starting at the top, we're going to go across. We have big B, little b, big F, little f, big D, little d, big T, little t. All right, and that is all of those. Determine the phenotype. Now remember, phenotype is what we physically see. That's what we physically see in the phenotype. So if a person's tall, the phenotype is tall. For each genotype, using the information provided about SpongeBob. Yellow body color is dominant to blue. So capital Y is going to equal the yellow body color, and the little y is going to equal the blue body color. Okay? So we have to look at what is dominant. What are we going to see? Because we're looking for a phenotype. Okay, so here's our dominant gene when we're looking at this. So capital Y, we're going to see yellow. Capital Y, lowercase y, we are also going to see yellow. We're going to see that one first because it is dominant to the recessive. And we have lowercase y, this little sponge is going to be blue. Okay? Square shape is dominant to round shape. So capital S is going to equal the square shape. And lowercase s is going to be what? It's going to be the round shape. Now, it's really important that you get all of these correct in order to do the rest of the worksheet, because they ask you to go back here for the information. So this is why I'm modeling this. Okay, and reading is real critical. You have to learn to pick out the keywords. All right, so we're looking at these dominant genes that we're going to see first. Square shape is dominant to round. So capital S, this sponge is going to be square, like his dad. Okay, capital S, lowercase s, we're going to see this one first, so it's also going to be a square sponge. Lowercase s, this sponge is going to have a round figure. Okay, you with me so far? Hope so. All right, so for each phenotype, that's the physical, that's what we're going to physically see, give the genotypes that are possible. These are the genotypes right here. What are the genotypes that are possible? Okay, the tall head is dominant to the short. Okay, so dominant is capital T, and the recessive is going to be short. So if Patrick, okay, so for each phenotype, give the genotypes that are possible for Patrick. Everyone remembers Patrick. He was the lovely starfish in the series. So if Patrick is tall, his genotype, he could be capital T, or he can be capital T, lowercase t. In each case, Patrick will be tall if that is his genotype. If Patrick is short, then his phenotype is going to be, genotype is going to be lowercase t, lowercase t. All right? The pink body color is dominant to yellow. Capital P is going to be dominant for pink. The lowercase p is going to be for yellow. Pink body, right? So if Patrick has a pink body, his genotype is going to be either a capital P, or a capital P, lowercase p. He will be a pink body if he's any one of those two genotypes. But if Patrick had a yellow body type, he would be little p, little p. All right, so now that we have done this, we can actually go on to question number 4. SpongeBob SquarePants recently met Sponge Susie Roundpants at a dance. SpongeBob is heterozygous for his square body shape, but Sponge Susie is round. Create a Punnett square to show the possibilities that would result if SpongeBob and Sponge Susie had children. Hint, read question number 2. So we have to go back to question number 2 to get the information. But let's pick out some important stuff here. Okay? So Susie has round pants and SpongeBob has square pants. SpongeBob is heterozygous, which means he's going to be one of these right up here. Okay? So I'm going to put a square on that, link this back to SpongeBob, so we know that SpongeBob is heterozygous. Okay? But Sponge Susie is round. So if I go back to question number 2, okay? SpongeBob, if he's heterozygous, he has to be this square shape. Okay? He has to be this one. Susie has to be this one because she is round. All right? It says list the possible genotypes and phenotypes for the children. So SpongeBob is capital S, little s, and Susie is going to be little s, little s. Okay? So we have capital S, little s. We're going to bring these down and bring these across. Bring this one down, bring this one across. So we have little s here. Capital S, little s, bringing this one down and this one across, this one down and this one across. It's going to be little s, little s. Okay, so it says list the possible genotypes for this group of offspring. So I'm going to put the word geno. And the possible offspring for this combination is going to be capital S, and little s, little s. Their offspring are going to be one of those two. Okay, make sure you answer both parts of that question. So the phenotype, what are we physically going to see? So I'm going to put the word pheno, semicolon. So if any of their offspring were capital S, little s, that is going to be the, you got it, square body shape. But if they are little s, what are they? I can look back up here. They're going to be the round body shape. Okay, so SpongeBob and Susie have the opportunity to have both square children and round children. What are the chances of a child with a square shape? Well, we take a look at these four. Square shape is right here, big S, little s, so 1, 2, 2 out of 4, which is 50%. What are the chances of a child with a round shape? Again, it's 2 out of 4, which is also 50%. Okay, so SpongeBob and Sponge Susie have a 50-50 chance of having both round kids and square kids. All right, we're going to go on to the next one. Patrick met Patty at a dance. Both of them are heterozygous for their pink body color, which is dominant over the yellow body color. Create a Punnett square to show the possibilities that would result if Patrick and Patty had children. Read question number 3. Okay, so this is a keyword that I'm going to link back to both of them. Okay, so if they're heterozygous, okay, they're going to be hybrids. All right, so I'm going to come back here. They're heterozygous, they're going to be hybrids, so both of them are hybrids. So I'm going back to question number 3. And the heterozygous for pink body color is capital P, lowercase p. So Patrick and Patty are both hybrids, so they're both going to be capital P, lowercase p. I'm going to bring these letters down and across. So capital P, lowercase p. Again, a capital P, lowercase p, and 2 lowercase p's right here. List the genotypes and the phenotypes for their children. I'm just going to do that again. Okay, so their children can be capital P, or capital P, lowercase p, and 2 lowercase p. All right, so their phenotypes. So what are the kids going to look like? And what are the percentages? Well, let's take a look. If you are capital P, you're going to be what body color? You're going to be pink. If you are capital P, lowercase p, you're going to be what body color? Pink. If you're going to be lowercase p, what body color are you going to be? Yellow. Okay? What are the chances of a child with a pink body? Well, this one is going to be pink, this one's going to be pink, and this one's going to be pink. So this one's going to be 3 out of 4 for 75%. What are the chances of a child with a yellow body? This is the only one that could have a yellow body, so that's 1 out of 4 for 25%. Okay? So you have to pick out the important words when you're doing this activity. I modeled this entire thing so that you know how to do the back side. Now you're going to get graded on the 3 in the back. I'm going to give you a couple of hints here. Okay? Squidward is a purebred, so make sure you look that up. Okay? And the girl that he married, it has the light green skin, not the blue skin. You need to be able to get this Punnett square correct in order to get this one correct, because this one asks for information from this Punnett square to put it in here. If you have any questions, email me. That's all I have. Thank you. Have a good day.